Hello, and welcome to yet another Tribe 9 YouTube video. Today, we'll be covering Miu, her actions, her potentials, her Compatimons, and her Transcendencies. Let's get started. Her primary attack, Luminous Amplifier, performs up to 3 stages of a ranged attack. Her secondary attack fires a beam towards the target to perform a ranged attack. Her counterattack is to perform a deflect counterattack. When executing counterattack successfully, limit enemy actions by using attacks that will make the enemy lose their balance more easily, unable to defend against non-physical attacks. Let's go further into details. So, her primary attack's first stage action damage is 98%. The second stage is 98% times 2, and the third stage is 210% times 3. The first stage break value is 10, second 20, third 45, for a whopping total of 75 break damage. Her secondary attack is broken down as follows. The action damage is 49% times 9, the break value is 270, and the stamina consumption is 480. Now, for the counterattack, the action damage is 98% times 3, the break value of a successful counterattack is 500, and the stamina consumption is 250. Now, let's talk about her strategy skill, Vertical Crystal. Vertical Crystal deploys a luminous crystal at the foot of the target and gains resonance. Press and hold to adjust activation position. When deployed, the luminous crystal will attack surrounding enemies automatically. When executing a strategy skill again, while a luminous crystal is deployed, the luminous crystal will be redeployed by the foot of oneself. The automatic attack action damage of Vertical Crystal is 280% times 2. The stamina consumption is 125. Now let's move on to her ultimate skill, Resonance Accelerator. The luminous crystal will bind to the target and explode. When executing, deal damage based on the stacks of resonance. If luminous crystal is not deployed when executing, resonance will be considered as one stack. Now, what are stacks of resonance? Resonance stacks cap at 120 stacks. When enemies around luminous crystal take damage, stack increases. When Resonance Accelerator is executed, all stacks will be removed. So when you use her ultimate, Resonance Accelerator, you lose all stacks of resonance, but you gain massive damage. When it comes down to the status details of Resonance Accelerator, her ultimate skill, the explosion action damage is 280%, which is multiplied by 1 at level 1, by 5 at level 2, and by a whopping 20 at level 3. It requires 1 tension phase, and the tension gauge maximum consumption is 100. Her chain skill, Radiant Slay, can be triggered when inflicting break on the enemy. Perform a follow-up attack towards the target. If Luminous Crystal is deployed when executing, gain a certain amount of resonance. The action damage of her chain skill, Radiant Slay, is 2,240%. The tension gauge recharge rate is 50, and the resonance increase is 30 stacks. Let's move on to her XB skill, Luminous Blink. When in offense, more likely to win a bout on base. Additionally, obtain Showdown Factor. As you can see, she's built for offense. Therefore, she's better as one of the basemen in an offensive position and one of the first batters in your lineup. So let's move on to character potential for Miu Jujo. What you want to pour most of your points into his passive skill expansion too, and then put a couple of points into Fighting Instincts. So, Fighting Instincts enhances action damage, which enhances your ultimate's damage. Resonance Accelerator. Luminous Extension increases the action damage of Resonance Accelerator as well. Therefore, your ultimate does tons of damage. Your primary passive, Luminous Streak, increases the action damage of Luminous Crystal's automatic attacks. It is quite useful if you plan on using only the turret and not her ultimate to deal tons of damage. Now, let's talk about her optimal Compatimons setup. Basically, you want to have critical rate plus 4, attack 4 plus, and critical damage multiplier 4 plus as optimal stats on your Compatimons. The other thing you want to watch out for is the 2-piece set effect Gladiator. It increases your ultimate skill damage multiplier by 25%. Alright, let us cover her Transcendencies. Miyu's first Transcendency, Perfume Penetration. When a luminous crystal is deployed, increase the critical rate of own secondary attacks by 15% for 20 seconds. This effect will not be granted when luminous crystal is redeployed. Miyu's second Transcendency, Refulgence, grants her 2 potential gems. Her third Transcendency, Luminous Chain, increases the amount of resonance stacks gained from attacks dealt by oneself by 2. The fourth one, Brilliance, grants her 3 potential gems. And last but not least, her fifth Transcendency gives her automatic attacks of the luminous crystal 3 consecutive shots instead of 2. Now, let us move on to the example portion of the video, where we shall fight the shark and I'll explain exactly what I'm doing and why. So we open with a secondary attack in order to stagger the shark as much as possible. Then deploy our turret. We then advance and redeploy our turret to get the stacks of luminous crystals that we need. We continue to try to stagger the shark as much as possible by countering it and using our secondary attack. We then successfully break the shark once, but it is not enough to fill our gauge. So we continue to try to break him. We finally succeed at bringing him down. Now we continue trying to break him. As you can see, our ultimate is ready, but it is not ready to be used yet as the shark is phasing out. Now that the shark is using his laser, it is the opportune time to use our ultimate at full stacks, which deals tons of damage. We end up finishing off the shark with a few auto attacks with ease. Thanks a lot for dropping by and watching my video on Miyu, the Ultimate Destroyer. I thank you for watching this video, and I hope you have a wonderful evening, day, or night. Peace!